Find ourselves hip width distance apart. Breathing. And just getting settled. So releasing whatever happened today. Letting the breath smooth out. And then deepening the breath, keeping it smooth, so balancing out your inhales and your exhales. Just taking it a little deeper, and we're nice and upright so you can feel the breath moving through your body, right? There's nothing in the way. And as you continue to deepen these breaths, maybe you can feel the breath going all the way to the tips of your toes, the tips of your fingers, and the crown of your head. And keep breathing like that. Okay, we're going to add some arms now. So let's make sure the feet stay grounded here. Palms out. And draw energy up, keeping the shoulders away from the ears. As you inhale, draw the arms up. Tap the palms together. Turn the palms out. And exhale, nice long arms. Inhale, drawing up, lengthening through the spine. Keeping the feet nice and grounded, keeping the shoulders away from the ears. So you may not even take your arms all the way up. You find out where this is for you. And even as you exhale, feel your spine lengthen. And let's do that one more time. Inhale. And spine lengthening, exhale. All right, and let's shake out a little bit, move around, and we're going to work on our spinal flexibility movements, starting with cats and cows. So the feet are slightly wider than hip width distance. The knees and hips are soft, hands to the thighs. We're going to leave them there. Arch your back, shine your heart forward. This is the cow, and then round your spine, gaze toward your left for cat. And as you move through this is all it is, forward and back. Notice the various muscles in your body that move when you do this. So maybe you start out thinking about the muscles around your torso, and then you start to notice, yeah, my shoulders too, right? Maybe you start to notice that the feet have a job to do here. And the next time you're gazing toward your lap, just hold here and slowly roll up. Take your shoulders back and down, and let's come back into mountain pose. So the feet are hip width distance apart, and all four corners of the feet are in and stay in good contact with the earth here. Take a breath. We're going to start to move side to side. So take your arms up. Again, if your shoulders start to do this, you can stay lower. We're going to take the right wrist in the left hand, keep the feet grounded, and tilt to the left. Yeah. Let's get that side body open. Come back to center. Take your left wrist in your right hand and tilt to the right. And keep going. Side to side. So when you're going to the left, you've got your right wrist in your left hand, and when you're going to the right, you've got your left wrist in your right hand. Does that make sense? And remember, we always warm things up first, so we're going mild at first, and then finding a little more depth. Good, and the next time you're over to the left, stay here, pressing through the right foot to make sure it stays grounded. Release your arms parallel to the earth here. So we've got a really good stretch going in the right side. Let's press those left fingertips away. Try and get a little more stretch there. And then come on up and switch sides. This is a great thing to do sitting down as well. Make sure that left foot stays in contact with the earth here. Release the arms parallel. Press out from the right fingertips to add a little more space to the right side body. Inhale up, and let's just release stuff. Knees and hips soft. Just take it down and up a few times. All right, and then coming back, we're going to keep things loose as we start to work on some twisting. That feels really good, doesn't it? So take your feet slightly wider than hip width distance. Take your right foot behind your left leg and take your left arm across to the right. And left leg behind. So as the right leg comes back, the left arm comes across to the right. As the left leg comes back, right arm comes to the left. And that's adding just a little twist. And you might decide that you want to start going a bit lower. That's fine. You might decide you want to stay up. Remember, this is your practice always. And if you're going lower, start to come back up, because what we're going to do is start to lift the arms a little more toward the sky. So just getting a nice little, we're getting a nice little rotation for the spine and some nice opening for the hips. All right, and start bringing it just back to quiet. All right, so let's work on the shoulders a little bit now, because that's something all day long, you know, the shoulders get involved. A lot of times they spend the day like this. So we're just going to work to open them. We'll open them a little in both directions. Start out by putting your fingertips at the top of your shoulders here. Now draw your arms forward, and if possible, touch your elbows. Good. Now notice here, we're going to bring the arms up. Keep your gaze straight ahead. Try not to do this. As the arms go up, a lot of times the head wants to drop forward. I know mine does. Try and just keep your gaze straight ahead as you bring your arms up, and then open them behind you and elbows down. Is this making sense? So they're big shoulder circles, but really pay attention to what the head is doing here. I was working on this earlier, and I definitely noticed I definitely want to do this, right? But keep your gaze straight ahead at a fixed point. Maybe you'll feel some crunchies there. Yes, and we'll do that one more time. And land with the elbows down. And now we'll reverse it. So take the elbows back, up, and touching in front. Back, up, and touching in front. And one more time with this. Good, and then shake out the arms. All right, how's everybody doing so far? Let's find mountain pose, see if you can feel your energy moving, how things are going. See if when you come into mountain pose, you can feel all four corners of your feet in good contact with the earth here. Take a nice few breaths here. All right, we're going to be working our way down to the mat. We're going to be doing a 90-90 position pretty soon, which is going to have one knee down. So make sure you have extra padding nearby. If you want extra padding for your knee, remember you can always flip up the side of your mat. Or you might be like me on a rug, on a mat, and don't need extra padding. So decide what's right for you. Have it nearby if you want some extra padding. It could also be a towel, right, a blanket. And come to the top of your mat in mountain pose. Okay, we're going to float the arms up. Inhale, try and keep the shoulders away from the ears always. Come into swan dive, folding over the hips with a long spine. We don't care how low we go here. We want to keep everything straight. So right now your swan dive might be pretty high, could be low, depends on where you've been, what you've been doing. Bring your hands to your thighs, knees bend, hips back, shine your heart forward. Sink the hips, bring the hands to the mat, and step back to downward facing dog. Remember, dog can be done at the wall, hands on a chair. Ooh, especially if you're working on any kind of foot or ankle issue. And let's go ahead and pedal the feet. Pressing one heel and then the other. And then press one heel down and hold. Switch sides, press the other heel down and hold. Press both heels down and hold. And we're going to mindfully bring the knees to the mat. Try and get the knees to the mat at the same exact time. Great. Sit off to the side and find seated mountain pose. So the legs are long, feet are flexed, spine is long. Okay, and sometimes you might need to move stuff out from underneath so your sits bones come in contact with the earth. Hands by your side. Okay, and now we're going to draw energy up from the earth. Inhale, the arms up. Touch the palms together. Exhale, hands to the heart. Take a breath and a moment here and think about what brings you to your mat today. And then shake it out. Give everything a nice little crazy shake. Inhale and exhale. All right, so how are your cores doing? Everybody's been doing lots of core work in our week off, right? Yeah. All right, well, let's get them back then. We're going to do some boats. So we'll start with lots of, we'll do variations on the boat. And as always, you're going to do the one that is working best for you. So 2 feet to the mat, hip width distance apart, arms go forward. And we just keep the feet right where they are. Take the body back till you feel your core engage. Feel a core challenge here. And then come on up. Okay, so this is what we're going to start with. Take it back and up. And the slowness is important here. If we were just going like this, we wouldn't really be accomplishing anything. So we're taking it back. Good, and up. All right, now we're going to keep the left foot planted, take the right knee to tabletop, arms forward. Remember, you can do any version, right? So if this starts to not work for you, stay with both feet on the mat. Let's go ahead and take this. This is half high boat on the right. We're going to extend the right leg, bring the body down so the heel is 3 inches off the mat. Shoulder blades are 3 inches off the mat. Low boat, back to high. Yes, and again, low boat on the right. Back to high boat on the right. Low boat. And high. This is probably the thing you missed most when we didn't have class last week, right? Low boat. And back to high. And bring your feet to the mat. Woo, just take a little break here. We'll do that with the left leg now. Remember, you can continue to be working with both feet down. So, as a matter of fact, I forgot to show you this. Let's do this together once on each side. Both feet are on the mat. As you pull back, extend your right leg and up. Pull back, extend your left leg and up. So you see how you can do that? Let's go ahead and take the left knee up. And we extend the left leg. The heel is like 3 inches off the mat, shoulders 3 inches, and up. Low boat to high boat. Low to high. And one more on the left. Low to high. Ooh, bring it up and open and close. Inhale and exhale. All right. Who's ready for two legs? Yes, I see that. Okay, we'll do it once together. If it doesn't work, then you'll go back to single leg. Okay, so let's go ahead, take the right leg up, take the left leg up, release the hands forward. You could just stay here. Your core is doing a lot of work. We're here, and now we're going to extend the legs to low boat and come up. All right, take a break, take a breath, decide if that's for you. We're going 4 times. You could do 2 right, 2 left, or 4 doubles. Here we go. Low to high, low to high. Good, 2 more. Low to high, and 1 more. Low to high. Woo! And release, just shake things out. Inhale and exhale. Alrighty. Whew. So let's go ahead and do some hip release, and we'll do standing obliques, okay? Because we want to get those obliques, but we'll do them standing up. Make sure you remind me. So for the hip opening, since we're up, we'll do rock the baby. So let's come into seated mountain pose first. This is a great thing to do. You can do this sitting in a chair also. Bend your right knee, take your right foot in your left hand, and hold on to your right leg with your right hand. You stay facing forward. The torso doesn't move. It's the leg. Right leg goes side to side. See how we're opening the hip, side to side. Your right foot is flexed. Now, if your hips are more open right now, you might choose to put your right foot in your left elbow, rock the baby this way. Make sure you keep your right foot flexed. So this is a version. This is another version, right? You pick the one that works best for you. And now take your right ankle across your left thigh, so it's above the left knee. Support yourself with your hands as you draw your left foot in, just till it touches the mat. And with the right foot flexed, go ahead and go side to side. With the right leg, you're still keeping the torso face forward. And the next time the right foot is headed over to the left, let it stay there, okay? And we want to see if the right hip is in contact with the mat, fine. If it isn't, go ahead and move your right foot to in front of your left shin so that your hips can be grounded here rather than you doing this, okay? All right, this is how I work much of the time, is with my foot in front of my shin instead of outside my thigh, so my hips can be level. Take your right hand by your right hip behind you. Remember, we always want to keep our spine straight when we twist. Inhale, your left hand's on your right leg, and without tugging, right? We're not using that left hand at all. Twist to the right, and start to turn your gaze towards your right shoulder. And then on your next exhale, turn your gaze to the left. And on your next exhale, turn your gaze back to the right. Bring your head to center, release, unwind, take the legs straight, give them a crazy shake. Ready on the left, okay? Bend your left knee, left foot in the right hand. Hold on to your left leg, spine is long. Torso stays forward, side to side. That right leg is staying nice and extended with the toes facing up. So both feet are flexed here. Remember, you might be a little more open in the hips right now and have your left foot in the crook of your right elbow. Whichever works for you. This is what we're doing, right? It's your practice. Now let's go ahead and take the left ankle to the right thigh. Slide the right foot in till it just reaches the mat, and take that left leg from side to side. And bring your left foot all the way over to the right. Do that little hip check here. See if your hips are grounded or if it would be better to move your left foot in front of your right shin. Right hand is on the left leg, left hand is by your hip. Lengthen your spine, and without tugging, just use your torso to twist to the left. Turning your gaze toward your left shoulder. And on your next exhale, turn your gaze to the right. And then on your next exhale, turn your gaze back to the left. All right, gaze forward, release everything, unwind, give your legs a crazy shake, give your hands a crazy little shake. All right, and we're going to come to hands and knees. We're going to work on that arm strength, remembering that we're working on the triceps a lot here, right? So we want to keep the arms close to the body and the elbows heading behind us, rather than what you might more traditionally see, which uses the biceps, elbows out to the side. Okay, so we're doing this. Okay, let's come to hands and knees. If you don't like being on your knees, you can do these things at a wall. With your hands on a chair also works. So we are evening out the weight between two hands and two knees. The knees are under the hips. Now the wrists are under the shoulders, but that's a very sharp angle. So you might prefer to have your hands a little more forward here. Okay, or at the edge of a rolled up mat. Okay, so from here, we're going to take the right leg back and just roll the foot. So press back through the heel, roll over the foot, liberate those toes. Press back through the heel and hold. And then switch sides, the left leg comes back. And press through the heel. And release. Let's get up for a moment. Just get up on your knees and shake out the hands. Inhale and exhale. And now we're going to be coming to a knee down plank. So the arms are going to be long ahead. The whole body fits in between, right? So you're one straight line from your shoulders to your knees here. And then keeping those elbow creases facing forward, press down and up. That's the triceps push-up. And then take your hips towards your heels. So we come forward, press down, and hips toward heels. And if you want to do any of these with the knees up, that's fine. Just make sure that you're not swaying your back. There you go. So if you're ever stand-up paddleboarding in the Gulf of Mexico and you go farther than you anticipated, you'll have nice strong arms to get you back. And the next time you take your hips back, we're going to come into child's pose. So go ahead and bring your big toes together, knees wide apart. Your forehead is connected to the earth, so it either rests on your mat or you can make a pillow with your hands. Make some fists. You're in child's pose. take a nice couple of breaths here. And begin to work your way to a downward facing dog. Noticing everything that happens on your way to dog, right? What are the muscles that move? What are the shifts in balance that happen? How's your breath doing? Remember, you can always do dog at the wall, on a chair. Inhale and exhale. And then just take a journey, bringing your feet towards your hands, however that looks for you right now. If you want to step, hop, or jump. Bring your hands to your thighs. Shine your heart forward for a half lift. Let your hands roll down your legs as deep as you want to go for this forward fold. And keeping the feet super grounded, lower half of the body super heavy, like it's made out of concrete. Upper half, light as a feather. Float the arms out and up. Yeah. Palms touch. And hands come heart center. All right, so find your mountain pose now and see if you can feel your energy and your breath. What's happening with that? Yeah. Okay, are we ready to start some sun salutations here? Remember, we're going to be doing 90-90, so if your knees are asking for extra padding, make sure they have it. Again, you can always fold up the edge of your mat as well. So let's come to the top of the mat in mountain pose and take a few breaths here. We're going to add a little arm movement to the top of this sun salutation. So let's bring the arms up, inhale. And as you exhale, open to the right with long arms, twist. Come back to center, inhale. And as you exhale, twist open to the left with long arms. Good, and come up. Now we're going to do a standing cobra, elbows to the waist, heart shines up. The head is not being thrown back. The head stays in line with the spine. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale into your swan dive. Fold from the hip creases. Go as high or as low as you want to go right now. Hands to the knees, hips back. Shine your heart forward, half lift. Sink the hips down, hands down. Step back with the right leg and hang out in this lunge. So 90-90 that we're coming to is slightly different from crescent lunge. We're going to bring the right knee down, but it's under the hip instead of behind it, okay? And then we've got the left knee over the left ankle here. Your left hand just kind of dangles by your side. Your right arm comes up by your ear and tilt toward the left. And just notice what varying muscles you feel here as you do that. And then come back to center, bring both hands down, one on each side of the left foot, and come into your knee up or knee down plank. The important thing about plank is that your spine is strong. It's not wobbling, it's not compressed, you're not hiked up, you have a straight spine. So whether knees up or knees down is better for you to do that. That's where you are. And let's come through chaturanga. Remember, the elbows are heading back behind us. We're using our triceps a lot here. Inhale and exhale. And just keeping the hands gently on the mat, shoulders toward the ears, down the spine. Shine your heart forward. Here's a cobra. And release. And then find your way to downward facing dog. So table to dog is great. Sometimes you might want to do a lift up. Again, the spine is staying nice and long and strong. Finding a nice even downward facing dog. Think about your weight being distributed between 2 hands and 2 feet. Now we're going to take the right leg to hip height, rebalance 2 hands and 1 foot, and then draw that right knee in, place the foot down, bring the left knee down, and set up for 90-90 here. So the left knee is under the hip, right knee is over the right ankle. This time the right hand dangles by your side, left arm is up, and just tilt over to the left. All right, and let's come back. Bring the hands down, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, engage all the muscles of your body, barely touching the mat with your fingertips, step forward. There it is, there's that strength, half lift, forward fold. Remember the lower half of the body, cement, upper half feathers, float the arms out and up, palms touch, and hands come heart center. All right, any questions? Are we good to go? We'll do the same thing starting on the left side. And we're going to add a little twist to that 90-90 after we lean over to the side. So let's come to the top of the mat. Take a breath here, adding some arms to the top of this sun salutation. Float the arms up, inhale. Twist to the left with long arms. Yes, and come center. Twist to the right with long arms. And come center, standing cobra, elbows to waist, shine your heart up toward the sky. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, swan dive, straight spine, straight legs. Half lift. Sinking the hips down, hands down. This time step back with the left. Hang out in that lunge for a moment, just enjoying that. Now bring your left knee down and set up for 90-90 here with the left hip over the left knee over the right ankle. And your right hand dangles, left arm up by the ear, inhale, and tilt over to the right. Notice what goes on when you do that. Inhale, now take both arms up and twist open to the left with long arms. We're twisting open. And come back to center. Let's see how it feels to twist open to the right here. Same thing, long arms, twist. Good, and come center, hands down. Take yourself to plank. Lift that knee if you're going knee up plank, or just take your right leg back and find knee down plank. You don't have to do the same type of plank the entire time, right? Do whichever one is suiting you best right now. And a nice slow chaturanga. Okay, so from here, let's treat ourselves to a nice little sphinx here. So we're going to take the elbows under the shoulders. So they're under the shoulders in 2 ways, right? Down, directly down from the shoulder, not back or forward, okay? And not out or in. So from the shoulder, hands are to the mat, okay? And just like the sphinxes, lengthen through the chest and just take your gaze forward. And release. All right, go ahead and rest your forehead on your hands. Make a little pillow with your hands. Bend your knees and let's do a little spinal release here. Legs side to side. All right, bring your feet down, hands back under the shoulders. I'll take you through a lift up. If you want to go table to dog, that's great. If you want to do a lift up, hands are under the shoulders, gaze is toward the mat, and with a straight spine, come halfway up. Now your knees might still be down here, whichever's better for you. Now extend through the arms and press back. And then do whatever rearranging you need to do for your down dog. All right, enough rest in that down dog for you. Take your left leg up here and take your left foot forward, arrange in that 90-90 with the left leg forward here. Okay, so the right knee is under the right hip, left knee is over the left ankle. Okay, take a breath here. Let your left hand dangle, right arm up, and tilt to the left. Now bring both arms up, inhale, open the arms, twist to the left. Come on back up and open the arms, twist to the right. And come on back up, bring both hands down, one hand on either side of the left foot. Lift that right knee. Engage all the muscles of your body. You probably don't even need your fingers to be touching the mat anymore because you're totally engaged here. Step forward with your back leg, half lift, forward fold, and full lift, the arms out and up, palms touch. Good, and hands come heart center, and release. All right, let's shake things out, especially the wrists, the hips. Feel where anything else is going for you. And let's go ahead and do some wider legged poses. So we're going to take the legs wider than hip width distance, probably not quite as wide as we would for a warrior two or triangle, but wider than hip width distance, and the toes are facing out. Okay, arms are up. So right now we're in 5-pointed star. And remember to keep the feet, bring your arms down for a second. Remember, we want to keep all four corners of the feet in contact with the earth. So think about it and do this. Big toe mound, outer heel, inner heel, little toe mound. Make sure that happens on both feet. So you're nice and square now. Just bring your hands to your hips and watch what happens if you keep your feet in that position. As you bend your knees, where are they going? They're going to go straight through the center of the feet, which is where we want them, right? We don't want the knees to do this. So by keeping the feet square, we get the knees to go where we want them to go. Let's take the arms up now, 5-pointed star, to moonflower. So instead of thinking about your knees, think about your feet, and the knees will go where you need them to go. Yes. 5-pointed star to moonflower. And, of course, we're not doing booty back here. We're going straight down and up. Perfect. So 5-pointed star to moonflower. And now let's take 5-pointed star to sunflower, which is knees out, cross the arms, right in front of left, and come up. And then we go left in front of right, and come up. So nice big sunflowers here. You don't have to go low if you don't want to. You go as high or as low as you want to. It is your practice to do what you want to do with. Yes. And we started, most of us started with the right arm in front. So to be even, the next time your left arm crosses in front, you should be even and come back. Heel toe or hop your feet together, shake everything out. All right, and now as promised, we will do some oblique work. We'll do it from our triangle. How's that? So let's take the legs super wide now. Turn your right toes to the right, left toes in at an angle. In triangle, the legs are going to stay straight. Arms are out to your side. And we're going to reach to the right and come back. Reach, so we're basically warming up for the triangle here. Reach to the right and come back. Now reach, reach, reach. Take the right hand to the right leg. Turn your palm out and take your left arm up. If this bothers your shoulder, you can just keep your left hand on your left hip, but keep your shoulders stacked. Okay, basic triangle, gaze toward your right foot, gaze toward the center of the room, possibly gaze toward your left fingertips. See what you feel best at, and then come on up. Woo, let's take that to the left. Hands to the hips, left toes to the left, right toes in at an angle, arms out, and reach and release to the left. Reach and release. Reach and release. Reach. This time we're going for it. Reach, reach, reach. Drop your left hand with the palm face out. Right arm is up. It could also be hand to the shoulder or hand to the hip if that works better for you. Just keep those shoulders stacked. Take your gaze toward your left foot, toward the center of your space, and towards your right hand. Good, and then pull up. Bring your hands to your hips, and we're coming back to the right. Okay, so that was just triangle. Now we're going to turn it into core work, okay? So let's take the arms out, legs are still wide. Reach, 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 come into triangle here. Float your right arm up parallel to the earth. Float your left arm parallel to your right, and let's open and together. Open and together. Open and together. Open. Stay here together and lift, lift, lift with those long arms. That's a lot of work for the core. Open the arms, left foot forward, arms out. Reach, reach, reach. Triangle on the left. Float your left arm up, right arm parallel, open and together, open and together, open and together. One more, open and together, and reach, reach, reach. All right, let's turn all 10 toes forward, bring the hands to the hips so that the index fingers can go right into the hip creases here. The legs are still wide, the toes are forward, long spine, straight legs, we're folding forward, hips stay over the ankles, forward fold. If you want to stop before you get halfway down, you stop there. If you want to stop halfway down, you stop there. If you want to keep going, and then just bring your hands to a comfortable spot on your legs. If your hands reach the floor, they might reach the floor. Okay, if your hands are on the floor, you can turn your fingers to point behind you and maybe even walk your hands under your legs. And then start to bring your hands back forward to your hips. Come halfway up. If you're farther down than that, take a breath. Pressing through the feet, press down to lift up. Inhale and exhale. And heel toe or hop. Feet together. Ooh, shake things out. Inhale and exhale. All right, how are you guys doing? Are we good? All right, so let's go ahead and just, freely move around. See what your body is instructing you to do right now. If it wants to take a rag doll or twist, stay up, go down. Okay, we're just going to move around. Make sure everything is kind of loose look around and see if there's anything you want to bring with you when we come back down. That might be an eye pillow. That might be rubbing your hands in some lavender from my garden. Oh, I just love that. Okay. Sherry, if you need some lavender, come and get it. It's in my backyard. Okay. All right, so we're going to come back to mountain pose and breathe. And just notice how the energy is moving. We're going to start working our way down to the earth now. So come to the top of your mat here and take a couple of breaths. So we're finding mountain pose again. Inhale and exhale. All right, let's go ahead and float the arms up. Inhale, exhale to swan dive here. Hands to the thighs, take a half lift. Sinking the hips down, hands down. Now, if you have a lot of energy to burn, go ahead and do a vinyasa, right? Plank, chaturanga, back bend, and then meet in down dog. Otherwise, you can go straight to down dog. And if you've had it with down dogs for this practice, you can be in table. So if you're going for the vinyasa, just go ahead, take your time. If you're in down dog or table, let your hips start to wiggle a little bit. And then we're going to all be working our way in our own time to meet in seated mountain pose once again. So if you're in the middle of something, do not rush through it. Remember, this is your practice. We'll just meet in seated mountain pose. We're all here. Take a few breaths here. Great, and we have time for a beautiful Janu Shasana. So let's go ahead and take the right foot to the left thigh. Now this is a dramatic angle for the knee. So if you want less of an angle, your right foot could be at your left calf instead, so the knee is more open. You decide which one is right for you. The left leg is long, the left foot is flexed. Left toes and left knee are facing straight up toward the sky. Turn toward your left leg. Okay, let's draw the arms up. Inhale, folding long spine over those hip creases. Cross at the wrists and then bring your hands to your leg. So the hands might be up here. They might be more toward your ankle. Some people might even have their foot here, wherever your hands belong. What I like about crossing at the wrists is it keeps my body over my left leg. And just breathe. We've got the long spine. We've got the gaze going more in the direction of the toes than to the knee. All right, let's release those arms up. Inhale, bring your hands down by your side. Help your right knee up. The right foot is one hand width distance away from the left thigh. Of course, again, with that knee, the foot could be by the calf instead. Take your left hand to your right leg. Take your right arm up and back. Inhale with a long spine, twist to the right. Now, you might want to take your left arm up and take your left elbow outside of your right leg if that's you. And you can do that. Remember, when we twist, we want to keep the spine up like this. If doing that made you lean back, then don't do that. We want to keep the spine long. And then release, unwind, take your right leg straight, give your legs a crazy shake, setting up for Janu on the left. Left foot to the right thigh or calf. Right knee and toes are facing straight up toward the sky. Turn and face your right leg, arms up, inhale. Folding from those hip creases, reaching long, long, long. Cross at the wrists and hold on. You might be up here. You might be farther down. Keep your gaze toward your toes here. All right, release the hands, bring the arms up, down by your side. Take your left knee up, one hand's width distance in between the right leg, whether it's thigh or calf, and your left foot. Take your right hand to your left leg, left arm up and back, and with a long spine, twisting from the torso, not tugging with the right arm. And again, you might choose to take your right elbow outside of your left knee if that's you tonight. And turn your gaze toward your left shoulder. All right, let's release, unwind, take the legs straight, give them a crazy shake, give the wrists a crazy little shake, bend at the knees, and we're rolling down to the mat. All right, extend both arms and both legs long. Inhale, exhale, draw your knees in, hug in. You're either going to hold on to your hamstrings or your shins and rock side to side. Get a little spinal massage here. All right, bring both feet down, let your knees open and close a little bit, little gentle butterfly wings here. Take your right ankle across your left thigh, flex your right foot and draw your left leg in. You're holding on to your right, actually let's hold on to the left leg, either the side of the leg or you might have your fingers intertwined around your hamstring. Some people like to hold on to their shin here. Take note of where your left knee is. Have your left knee in line with your left shoulder so you get the maximum release in that right hip. Send warm, releasing breath to your right hip. And let's release, take the left leg straight up and point and flex the left foot. Circle the ankle one direction and the other. Okay, we release, unwind, bring both feet to the mat. Open and close the knees a few times. Take your left ankle across your right thigh with the left foot flexed. Draw the right leg in and hold on. You might have the outside of the leg, the hamstring, or the shin. Make sure your left foot is flexed. Check the position of your right knee. You want it in line with your shoulder. And send nice breath to the left hip as it releases for you. All right, now release your hands and take the right leg straight up, point and flex. And circle one direction and the other. And release, unwind, put both feet down and open and close the knees. Little baby butterfly wings. Bring your hands down by your side. Open the fingers wide and wiggle them into a nice gentle fist. Just do that a few times. rotate the wrists one direction and the other. And then let your head move side to side. And coming back to center, just move around any way that the body needs to so that it can let go and prepare for final relaxation. If there's some realignment or testing that needs to go on, see, maybe the knees bent feels better tonight, maybe the legs straight feels good. So just go ahead and do whatever you need to finish up and be ready for final relaxation. And as you find your comfortable final relaxation position for tonight, inhale through the nose, and as you exhale, slowly let your body just melt onto the earth, letting go of all effort, and move into your final relaxation. So slowly begin to bring your awareness back to your space. Invite a deeper breath. Gently bring movement back to your body. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Now on your next inhale, stretch long. Exhaling, draw the knees in, give yourself a hug. Find your way over to a side. And as you're ready, back up to a nice, easy seat. As you turn your gaze to your own good heart and your bright spirit, thank and honor yourself for your practice, and we thank and honor each other for sharing this time. Namaste.